everybody right around the world. This is going to be a pre-market update as we move into Thursday's trading session. That will be the 27th of July 2017. So the markets collectively continued to push on up higher. The Dow Jones Industrial Average on Wednesday closed up just shy of 100 points. It's left us with a relatively interesting candlestick. This is what is very close to being called that of a shooting star. However, it is still rather bullish. Generally, a shooting star candlestick, although it takes a similar formation, it is a very bearish, immediate sort of candlestick reversal signal that we see up and around certain areas of resistance. Now, this has got a white body. It closed above the open. In fact, we got a gap between Tuesday and Wednesday session, and we started to break and push above this 21,700 level on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Volume is still rather stable. It's still looking quite okay. We're holding above those exponential moving averages. We're breaking above these little short-term ranges which we've been putting in over the past couple of months. It has been a very slow and gradual grind higher, and it is still looking to continue. We'll have to monitor this and see how this progresses and finishes out the week. But as at the close on Wednesday, on the weekly chart, it looks as though we are seeing some nice continuation signals to the upside. The Dow Jones Industrial Average over the past 3 trading sessions is closed up just over 130 points. So we're looking quite okay on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Of course, in our top 12 individual trade list, we do have a lot of individual companies reporting this week. It has been a rather busy week. Just to recap some of these stocks, first of all, we have Apple and also Tesla, which are reporting next week. Apple is on Tuesday, and we also have Tesla, I believe, is on Wednesday. So once we progress through those two, or at least move through in 1 week's time to Wednesday's session, we will essentially be through all of the stocks in our top 12 list, which are set to report earnings. To begin the week this week, we have had Boeing Airlines seeing a very impressive gap to the upside yesterday. That's offered a pretty decent trade setup. Baidu has continued. We had this trigger at 194.34. A couple of people actually emailed in yesterday saying they liquidated this trade at around $200 a share prior to Thursday's trading session. So they have done very, very well, and I commend you for doing so. Personally, I don't have, I guess, the guts to hold so close into earnings, but those profits which you made on Baidu, a little bit unexpected, but congratulations on that trade itself. Amazon is another stock which has continued to the upside. You can see on Wednesday's trading session, we closed up another $12.90, give or take. The original trigger was at 1,027. We have earnings today on Thursday, so you need to be out of this stock ASAP if you are in it. It's printing at 1,052. So, that's about $25 people have made there on Amazon if they still are in this as at the close on Wednesday. Again, I don't have the stomach for those types of moves anymore, but congratulations if you found yourself in that particular trade. Caterpillar has also reported earnings. We have COP, which is reporting today, so please be mindful and please be careful of that. We have CVX on Friday. Google was a little bit of a surprise, actually gapped in the opposite direction. It was a relatively negative response or reaction to that earnings report, but we are still holding up above key areas of technical support, which is still favorable for that particular stock. We've got IBM, which is on the precipice of breaking down, but I'll be speaking more about that over the weekend. We've got Netflix, which is still looking to continue above that 185 pivot that we have already sort of highlighted. What I want to bring to your attention right now, again, is certainly the transportational average. This is quite interesting. This is exactly what we've been looking for. We've seen the breakout occur. We've seen the pullback back down into our green box, and now we're starting to stabilize. We're starting to bounce. In fact, on Tuesday, we started to see a little bit of buying pressure. This was continuing off from Friday's session last week, and again on Wednesday we have a high wave spinning top. So it's looking as though we are respecting this pivot here, coming in at about 9,480. We're holding above this rising 50 exponential moving average. This essentially looks like a 1, 2, 3 back test, and we're waiting for price action to overcome roughly 9,560 for a really good continuation trade on the transportational average. You can see if I zoom out, this has been very important resistance for a number of months dating back all the way to December 2016. And it looks as though once we break above this pivot, we should see the transportational average continue, which leads me into the Russell 2000. This is quite interesting because over the weekend I spoke about this particular candlestick here in great detail. This was showing up as a legitimate shooting star candlestick. You can see the upper wick. It is quite an established, pronounced sort of prominent upper wick. We saw on Tuesday the Russell try and push back up and move above this level. It couldn't actually do this, and then on Wednesday it looks as though we're trying to develop what we would assume to be a tweezer top. Okay, so we're sort of negating or giving back all of the profits that we made on Tuesday, and more or less we're back into this original candlestick which I painted for you, or at least illustrated and described to you over the weekend. So pay attention to the Russell. The Russell and the transportational average, although they are somewhat similar, they are also giving us mixed signals. So pay attention to the relationship between the Russell and also the transportational average. I've touched on the industrial average. That doesn't really know any negatives at all. It's just continuing its grind to the upside. So is the S&P 500. We have the NASDAQ too, just continuing on its merry way. But we still have a couple of major tech companies to report until we're through earnings season, and we can really get a good gauge of where this market is moving or continuing to move. But as it stands, moving into Thursday's session, it is still looking quite healthy, quite constructive, and there isn't anything immediately apparent to report on in terms of warning signals for the market moving forward. We've got Disney, which is still trying to push on up to 108.21. This is going to be a matter of time, but we still have earnings, which is a couple of weeks ago. Facebook is set to report its earnings announcement. We've got HD coming back down into support. LUV is potentially bouncing at a pivot or set to bounce. Pay very close attention to what happens at LUV in between $58 and $60 a share, just shy of 59 in fact. So this level here at about 58.50 is critical for LUV. This may set us up or offer us a pretty decent trade setup. As you can see, resistance over here, potential support over here. It looks as though we're back testing a 1, 2, 3 breakout as well. And the trend itself is still to the upside. So that is looking quite favorable. MU, which was a surprise yesterday or 2 days ago now, below 30.77. It only closed down 9 cents yesterday, but it's still looking quite healthy. In terms of the trade setup, down to about 29.10, give or take. It may even come down to about $28, but that's a pretty realistic immediate trade setup too. And X, although we did close out of this above our pivot at 23.26, you can see the earnings announcement just here, and you can see the subsequent gap which resulted on Wednesday's worth of trading. It looks as though we're going to come up, as I originally expected, up to about 29.99. Now I'm not in this trade anymore, it's closed out, but it looks as though we should run and move up to $30 over the coming weeks on X. Now if you have any questions at all, email me, success@pivotpoint-trading.com. Until then, everybody, enjoy your Thursday, enjoy your Friday's worth of trading. We have a lot of individual stocks on the private list or on the pro side of the website. I have gone through that. That is up online as well. So click on over to the website, move into that pro private area and have a look at those earnings announcements, some of those updates which we've done on Caterpillar, on Google, pardon me, and also, which was the final one, Boeing Airlines as well. They're the three, but as at Thursday, we have a lot of individual stocks as well, which I will be updating you on as at the close of trading this evening. So all the best, everyone. I will see you in due course. Goodbye.